Let's try that again. Is that better? Is this thing on? Tell me it's on, please. Yes. Okay. Hello. Let's start again. Hello, and welcome along to the stream tonight. The rough plan for tonight is to get things working in terms of an audio and video perspective. I think the video is working and the audio is working now, so that's good. Tonight's stream will be a continuation of the last 4 or 5 streams, where we have been working on GitReleaseManager. So we'll continue with that, but we'll have a quick round of hellos and see who's in the chat room tonight so far. We've got Kim. That's good because I've got some questions for Kim. We've got Maurice. Always a pleasure to have Maurice. We've got Manfred, who's... I'm going to say that Manfred's lurking in the chat room, but based on what he's told me, he should be moderating the chocolate.org queue, package queue, so that's good. And I see we've also got Tomas, aka Baron of Cheese, so far in the chat room. So welcome along to everyone. So what are we all saying is, oh my god, what is this? It's new and amazing. What did I miss? Not sure. I'm assuming that you all know what you're talking about. So over the weekend and after Friday's lunchtime stream, they are testing out the new highlighting of messages. Oh, hold on. That doesn't flow through in my... Hold on. Maybe I'm going to go and watch it on Twitch. No, I won't see them, of course, because I've only just joined the chat on Twitch. It doesn't show up over here on that window. So... Oh, hold on. I'm being slacked. Let's have a look. No, look at that. Didn't know it did that. Shows how rarely I'm actually on an actual stream for not talking. So, good to know, though. Good to know. Yeah, so over the weekend, after the Friday lunchtime stream, I think we're basically at a point where we're ready to do a release. So there's only one open issue left on the 0.10.0 milestone. All the other features have been triaged and they've been moved out to future milestones. So just try to keep everything, keep on track of everything. So that's good. The one remaining issue on the 0.10.0 milestone is the ability to use the new features of GitReleaseManager before we actually ship GitReleaseManager, right? So one of the things that Kim added into this release was GitReleaseManager dog fooding itself during the build process. So Cake.recipe, which is what GitReleaseManager uses to do its build, by default will use the latest released version of GitReleaseManager, and that is 0.9.0 currently. But because of the change that Kim's made, we can actually use the one that we've just built in the build that's currently building, if that makes sense. So we have actually got the ability to use the 0.10.0 features in the release of 0.10.0 GitReleaseManager before it actually gets released. So a little bit of inception. So we'll have a release before 9 PM. That's the plan. If all goes to plan, that is indeed the plan. So we've got one thing left to do, which is a little bit of configuration, and we should be able to look up the new documentation that I created over the weekend that contains information about how to do that configuration and planning a short... I've still got my to-do list down here. I mean, I can always jump on and do something else. But in theory, it should be a short stream. But one of the things that was left over from the 0.9.0 release was that the build didn't quite work properly. Now, the build didn't work properly in a couple of ways. One was that we were missing some environment variables, and some environment variables were expired, namely the NuGet API key. So the release might not work the first time. and if that happens, then might need to do another. We might need to go over it a few times. But anyway, I want to add the last bit of configuration into our GitReleaseManager.yaml file, and then I want to create a release branch, do a merge of that release branch into master, push that, and basically see what happens. So, and yes, Maurice, you're absolutely right. So Matthias mentioned on Twitter that the next thing would be to do a cake update, and that's absolutely correct. Because if we go and look at the current documentation on cake build for Git Release Manager, and we look at the aliases, then currently, I mean, there's a big list of them, but it doesn't include the open milestone alias that we added. It also doesn't include the discard alias that we created, the discard release alias, because those are new features that were added in 0.10.0. We can't build the cake aliases until those things exist. Well, we could, but there's no point really. So once we release 0.10.0 into the wild, we can then do a PR into Cake to update those aliases so that other people can use those within their build proper. And then we can circle back around, because if we look over here, in our integration tests, then we're sort of cheating a little bit of cheating going on. So if we scroll down to find discard, then this thing here is abusing the argument customization function of Cake to do the discard alias, even though there isn't a discard alias. So once do the release of GitReleaseManager, we can update Cake. Once Cake releases, we can update cake.recipe. Once cake.recipe is updated, we can then update these unit tests or integration tests to use those new aliases. So there's a little bit of hops to jump through. Nor the debug, yes, absolutely. So Kim is pointing out there that we, i.e. Kim, also modified the default parameter set that almost all of the aliases, or almost all of the commands within GitReleaseManager uses. So we'll need to update the base settings class that is used by all of the GitReleaseManager aliases to include new options. There's also the concept of deprecation of the username and password within the aliases, because we've deprecated that now in GitReleaseManager itself. So we should deprecate the aliases within Cake, and then in a future release of Cake, once we've actually pulled it out of GitReleaseManager, we can pull it all in. So there definitely is a little bit of connection going on there. The coupling isn't too bad. I mean, the way that we've updated GitReleaseManager, it's not a breaking change. So I mean, that's kind of testimony to what we've done here. Is we've extended our Cake scripts to do new things within GitReleaseManager that don't exist within Cake itself. So you've always got that option of either shelling out directly to a start process alias within Cake, or you've got what we're doing here, which is all of the hard work has already been done in finding GitReleaseManager, knowing how to run it, and all that sort of stuff. All we're kind of doing here is slightly tweaking the command parameters that are passed in. So yeah, that's kind of where we're aiming to get to tonight. So I'm going to attempt to do this issue, which is to update the YAML file. So if we go over here and we look at, let's open up code, and we'll take a look at what's currently going on within our GitReleaseManager.yaml file. So there's not much out of the ordinary going on here. I think there's maybe one or two differences in terms of the default issues, and there's some issue label aliases for controlling how certain labels flow through into the release notes, the generated release notes. But what we want to add in is as a minimum, we want to add in this. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put this down here, right? And I'm going to say true. So this use issue comments, I'm going to set to true. And now what that does is that will at the point of closing a milestone, it will loop through, find all of the closed issues within that milestone, and it will add a comment to the issue to say that it has been closed, or rather, that it has been shipped. So it's just basically anyone who is subscribed to that issue for updates to know when things have happened, they get a final notification that says it's done, it's released. Okay, so that's the first part of this, which is to turn that feature on. And the other thing that we want to probably have a look at is taking a look at the default text. So this is the default text that is included within that function, or that feature of GitReleaseManager, which is basically, this is the contents of the comment that will get added to each issue. So what it's currently saying, and Kim's saying there, probably also update the issue comment so it points to the chocolate and the NuGet package. Yep. So this issue has been resolved in version blah. So that milestone will be, for us, it'll be 0.10.0. We've just had some raiders join the stream there. So welcome to all the raiders from Freestyle Coder. Welcome along to the stream. It's good to have you. We're currently working on a open source project called GitReleaseManager, and we are hoping to release a version of that tonight. So we're going to push out a version of GitReleaseManager to NuGet.org and to Chocolate.org. So we were just adding a little bit of configuration to control how some of our issues get updated when that happens. So the default text for this function is to this issue has been resolved in version blah, which is, for us, will be 0.10.0. This release is available on GitHub, so it should have the owner and repository, so it'll know that it's blah, 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 blah. So that part is fine, and then that's the final part. But what Kim is suggesting is that potentially we want to go in here and say NuGet release. So if we walk over to where NuGet currently is, and we make sure that we get the URL right. So if we go over here and look for Git release manager, I can't spell tonight, Git release manager. We walk over to this one, and let's get the URL. So that's the URL that we want, although it's going to be the 0.10.0 version of that. Then we can put that in there, and then we can add another tokenized value, which is the milestone, and it'll get replaced there. I see what you're saying, Maurice. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say there. Then what we want is chocolate release. We can walk over to chocolate.org. Chocolate.org. And it's a new machine, so I haven't done this one before. So it shows me that. Git release manager. We search for that, we can have this one. And then let's go to version history and find, that'll do. Copy that. And in here, we're going to put milestone as well. So GitHub release, you get, okay, I see what you're saying. So Kim's saying or suggesting that we make this package, which I think we should. Chocolatey package. And then we can also say .NET global tool, which is available from, we go back to this one and we go back a step, then we get this one. And again, if we click on this one, get the full URL, and then we can change it. And then we can do milestone. Okay, so this is the text that's going to be added into every issue that is included as a closed issue on the milestone that we've just closed. So the release is available on GitHub, it's on NuGet, it's on Chocolatey, and it's available as a .NET Global tool. I think that's everywhere for just now. There might be, in the future, a GitHub action and a GitHub task. Not a GitHub, Azure DevOps task that will include GitReleaseManager. But for now, this is where we're focusing. So that's that. And the only other one that I wanted to add was this one. We want to include in the... Oh, we haven't actually got a create. So let's just pull it all and then we can add it in. So copy. We'll add in some create configuration as well. So we're not going to include a footer. We are not going to include that, but we are going to include SHA section. So we're going to say true. And then what this does, this new function of GitReleaseManager adds... Oh, hold on, what did I miss? You don't want the package rocket in the end. What do you mean? What did I miss? What did I miss something? Oh, I did, sorry. Good catch. Copy, copy, copy. Paste. Good catch. Thank you, Maurice. I must have... That was a copy paste. Yeah, because that's a continuation of that one. That's my bad. Yep, got it. So this, what I've just added here is it will add a SHA-256 hash of any asset that's added to the release. So if we go back to a previous release of GitReleaseManager and we look at what's added, then these nupkegs, it will add to the bottom of the release notes the SHA-256 hash of those nupkegs. So if you wanted to, for whatever reason, verify the contents or verify that the nupkeg, once it's downloaded, has what you expect it to be, then the SHA-256 hash will be generated and added to the release notes for people who need that thing. So what we're doing here is we're saying include those SHAs. The SHA section heading is going to be SHA-256 hashes of the release artifacts, which is fine. And then what's here is we kind of added, we decided that this was the default that we wanted, which was the it was the SHA first, I think, and then the file name. I've probably got that wrong way, but we'll see that. I'm going to accept the default because I think that's what I want. And I think that is all that we wanted. That's the only features I think that we want in this release. Is that correct, Kim? Or have I forgotten something? I think that was all that we wanted. Let's have another look at the docs. Export, we're not touching anything on the export just now. Issue labels, issue label aliases. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're good to go. If you have forgotten this, I love it. So this issue is going to be GitHub issue. What was the name of it? Back to issues 194. So we say 194. Add config for new GRM features. If you keep the hash section header the same, you don't need to add it again, do you? Valid, yeah. It won't do any harm to have it there. And at least then it's, if we need to edit it, then we already know what the section headings are. So yeah, I think we would, yeah, I like what Kim's just taking the time to type there. I think I would leave them in as well. Now, arguably, I could do that for all the configuration, so I could literally just pull all of this and stick it in. But for now, I've left out the ones that we're not using specifically. but because those two are related to one that we are using, I'll leave them in. Since GRM is now dog fooding itself during the build, we can take advantage. We can take advantage of new released features before get there, they are actually released. Let's give this a try for Shaz and updating of issues on issues included in release. And let's be more specific there. Let's call it a milestone. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to YOLO that into referee. Dang it! I knew I forgot to do something. So I have updated my VM as the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed. I have updated my VM. I have neglected to do something though, which is what Maurice is hinting at in the comments there, and it's basically that command. How he remembers these things, I don't know. But I'm gonna. Why did that copy not work? Copy. Pasty. It's not working. Choco install get13.getconfig -y no progress --source equals https://get.org/f/get13/API/. I'll get there. There we go. Welcome to my brain. I hope it won't put any secrets. It shouldn't. Have I done something? Oh, what good catch, Maurice. www. And thank you, Manfred as well. Thank you. So that, in theory, should have. Let's try it again. Let's do this again. I may have to shut down code in order for that to. Let's bounce this one as well, just to be on the safe side. So CD back into GitHub, organizations, Git tools, GitReleaseManager, and let's go back in code and let's try that again. If this doesn't work, then something else is wrong. So, let's paste that and let's try it again. Dun, dun, dun. Why didn't it work? I did install it, didn't I? Yeah, I should have done. Should have done that. .com/get13/OSS/stuff. I'm just, I'm off on another screen looking at something. Just use arrow up. Yeah, I'm not trying to run it again. Yeah, no, I wasn't trying that. I was going to look at commands that are being run. Git config global get user.name. Why is that not giving me name? Git config global user.name. I didn't want to bring up everything. At least that's why I wasn't necessarily wanting to bring up everything. Weird. Why did that not work? Control plus R. What does Control plus R do? I'm confused. Hold on. What? This has worked before, so I'm confused as to what's been spoken about here. Hold on. You're right. I didn't run that script. No, that script didn't run. You're right. But I've just installed a package that does have that. Control plus R is a reverse search of your history. I might have to see what that does. Control R. What do I type here? Git? Or got? Get that? I don't even know how to use that though. Git. And do I go up and down? Or what do I do at this point? I'm so confused. Control R again. Oh, look at that. I just type up. I'll be honest. I don't use that. But anyway, if I do that, so is this now happy? That's now happy. Things I learned, indeed, Maurice, indeed. You can also use only fragments of what you remember that have been parts of the commands. Originally a Bass feature, though. That's probably why I don't know it. Okay, so git push upstream, because we've just committed that, which was the main point of what we're trying to do. I'm still confused as to why that chocolate package didn't work. Push origin. Anyway. Right, so with those things pushed in, and with those things committed and pushed to GitHub, we are now in a position to start our release process. So Maurice is saying, so Control plus R and type Choco and press Control R a couple of times to toggle all of your commands that have Choco in it. That just sounds rude, Manfred. So you're saying our Choco. Oh, look at that. So where's that history being kept? Because I thought, okay, let's go down this little rabbit hole. Because that history is only giving me the history of the session of what's been added in this session. So where's Control R getting those additional commands from? Because it's not from the PowerShell history or from the session history in PowerShell. It's going elsewhere. I'm not sure if I want to click on this link. Are you shitting me, Tomas, or is that actually where it's coming from? I don't actually know whether to believe you or not. I think you're taking the mick of a non-Nix person here, aren't you? Is that what you're doing? PowerShell implementation of... Oh no, I have seen this one before. I think. Yes, I have seen this before. I should probably have this for the amount of times that I've written a command incorrectly, and then it knows exactly what I was trying to run, but it didn't do it. Yeah, no, in that part I understand, but so what I'm getting at is, yeah, so there is a, is it PS readline that has an additional history, so it will persist the history of your PowerShell session across sessions being closed. I think PS readline does that, but I'm curious as to where Control R got those chocolate commands from. By default, the PowerShell in Windows 10 same as the last 4096 commands that are stored in a plain text file located. See, I don't know if that's by default, because I think PS readline you have to install, don't you? I don't know if I'm going to have that file. What's Steven? Learning lots of new stuff today then, hold on. Roaming. Windows. No, where were we? Microsoft, sorry. Microsoft. Windows. Oh, I'm not going to open it. I wasn't going to open it. Hold on. I have some sense. Not a lot, but I'm just curious if the file even exists. PowerShell. It is there. I thought you used to have to install PS readline. So why? But no, because I'm still confused. Because that's only giving me. That's not giving me everything that the other one's doing. So. No, I'm still confused. But this is sidelining. This is a squirrel, if ever I saw one. We're not going down that path. We're going to ship this release. So git checkout -b release 0.10.0, and we're going to take that from the develop branch, right? So from here, we should be able to run our build, which is going to be target equals release notes, right? So this is going to generate. Did I close that issue? Let's go back up to where we were. Good thing they're all... I almost made a boo-boo there, but it's a good thing they were all hidden. So I didn't close that yet. So I'm going to close that. And I'm going to go up to here. And I'm going to look at my releases. And we're still at 0.90. But if I run this one, it should, hopefully, generate a set of release notes. And it will generate a set of release notes that doesn't have the SHAs on them, because we haven't actually added the assets yet. So if this works, we'll get a new draft release created, which will be 0.10.0. It'll have bugs, features, improvements, all that sort of stuff. And it will be sitting, waiting, ready to be released. So let's see what happens. So we're running GitReleaseManager. So Maurice is saying that that file exists on a brand new Windows Server 2016 machine. Good to know. Good to know. No verbose or debugging switches enable, I assume. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Kim. Are you talking about my build command that I've just executed? Or something else? Next time you paste some credentials, delete that. I'm not going to remember that, Maurice. There's no chance. No chance I'm going to remember that. I can write it down. There's no guarantee that I will refer to it every time I run a command. That's disappointing. That's disappointing. That's somewhat disappointing. Which ones does... I thought I'd added those. .com, Kate.conthread, Kate.recipe. But then doing that though, Kim, that takes away some of the benefit of having it in the first place. Because saving all the history across all sessions is a useful thing to do. Good. Oh, why is that not working? Or do I do I override environment set? Oh, look at that. I'm using a different set. Don't have that one. Okay, so I am going to need to go off screen and come back on because I haven't added it with that name. So I'm going to go off screen. I'm going to update my environment variables and I will come back in just a second. So bear with me. Okay, we're back. So if I do env git tools GitHub username. Beautiful. Okay. So cd into c GitHub organizations, git tools, GitReleaseManager, and let's try running that build again. So we're going to do build target equals release notes. Where are we at? Maurice has just sent me a gist. What has Maurice sent me? A gist of. He sent me a gist of. Kill the text files. Thanks. I keep reading your username as make end fire. Love it. Okay. Create release notes. And this time it should work. expected to find a single label. Okay, so we're in a territory that we now know about. So if we look at, but I should go back to this. So there's a couple of new things in GitReleaseManager. The first is we've got a logo. How cool is that logo? It's just amazing. The version number is wrong here because we haven't stamped the assemblies, but amazing. Authentication using username and password has been deprecated. And will be removed future. It's a deprecation warning. Love it. We're outputting what VCS provider we're using. And there's a fatal error here regarding pool 187. The reason I brought them up, Kim, though, is I suspect there'll be more than one. So this is one of the features that one of the asks in this as a future release is that we output all the failures rather than just the first one. So that one's going to break, I think. So let's close all tabs to the right. And let's do this one, this one. That one doesn't have a label. That one doesn't. Oh, hold on. I'm not filtering by milestone. Hold on. Close tabs to the right. Milestone 0, 10, 0. Nope. I was trying to be clever. Come on. There we go. So that one, that one, that one. All these other ones. So it's this one, it's the dependencies. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take that off. And I'm going to take that one off. And then I'm going to run it again. Let's see what happens this time. Dependencies aren't listed as a valid label though, so I find it odd that it will fail on those. But it did have multiple labels though, so that's ultimately what the problem is. Didn't I just fix that one? Or is there another? Where's 187? 187. Do we not have internal refactoring as a valid label? Yeah, look at that. We don't. I thought we did. So internal refactoring we would want to exclude, correct? So that would go into here. Internal refactoring. No, I know what you're saying, Kim, but I mean, I think the way that GitReleaseManager has always worked is it's historically always just been one label, regardless of whether it's on the include or the exclude list. If it's got a label that's not within an include or an exclude, then it's not labeled correctly because you haven't considered it. Is kind of the thought process that it went through. So I'm going to save that then, and I'm going to run this again. So let's run it one more time. And I'm going to go to here. And let's see where we get to. And this is why I said it might take slightly longer than a 1 hour stream. But let's see where we get to. Okay, so it's created it this time. So if we walk back up to here and we look at releases, we should have a draft one that is for 0.10.0. And we had 28 issues, which matches up with the 28 there. So that part's working. It's not got the... It's not got the wording that I would have expected to be there. I would have expected some additional wording that said the number of commits that was included. Why is it not included that? I thought I fixed that bug. I thought I had fixed that bug. I would have expected to say as part of this release we had 28 issues closed and blah 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 blah. It'll do a diff between the two, because if we walk over to, as an example, cake build, cake, and look at its releases. It's not doing it there either. I thought it was doing it. Come back to that. But let's say you labelled an issue with 2 labels, improvement and state completed, and the second label shouldn't be considered at all, but it should still be added to the state. So, no, that's not quite true, Kim. That is what this pull request is all about. This pull request is all about the potential for grouping labels into different sections, or grouping issues into different sections, and the idea being that you have additional labels that control that. So out of the box right now, there is no concept of that. In a future version of GitReleaseManager, then we will, and we'll be applying additional logic for those special labels that have some additional meaning. Yes, but that comes as, so, like I say, right now, GitReleaseManager only supports one label. So the ability to have multiple labels associated with an issue is what this PR is about, with a view to including ability to group and assign special meaning to those other issues. But as of right now, GitReleaseManager has only ever supported one label being added to an issue. So I expected that to break, or that dependency is one. But yes, I agree with what Reese is saying. I have seen that on the fake repository. So if I walk over to here and say git tools fake repository, then we look at the releases that it's creating. I fixed that issue. Sure I did. I'm not going to worry about that just now though, but I'm going to come back to that. But for now anyway, it looks like it's created that fine. So, git, we need to add that to the last issue. So that was, what issue was that? That was it won't show up if we go here. and we look at the 194. So GH 194, add missing label to excluded list. Okay, so we're going to say yes to that. And let's do a switch to the master branch. Okay, check out. Oh, I know why. Because we haven't tracked it. Track origin master. So what we're going to do here is, well, let's just make sure that it's up to date. Base upstream master. This get push origin. So if we do a git merge no ff on the release branch, and we get a ton of stuff. 149 commits. Git push upstream. That'll push it to the Git tools, GitReleaseManager repository, and that will kick off a build. That'll push it to my fork. If we go over here, start closing out some of these, close tabs to the right. That didn't go where I wanted it to. Then, if we look in GitReleaseManager, let's see what it does. I have no reason to think that this build will fail. And if it doesn't fail, I'm going to tag it and it's going to do it again. And at that point, we'll see if the overall build passes or not. So to preempt that, if we go over to NuGet.org, then we look at GitReleaseManager again. And then we'll bring up Chocolate.org for GitReleaseManager. There we go. That's that one. That one. That one. Then, if this is now expected, then we will be breaking builds. This is an old issue I had on a repo of mine. This issue had labels improvement. Improvement up for grabs. Yes. So this was included on 050. 050. Number 25 was included as an improvement. Thank you very much for the subscription there, Matthias. I appreciate it. You've been subscribed for 9 months, and you're currently on a 9-month streak. Kim, I have no idea how that worked. That shouldn't have worked. That release note, that shouldn't have worked. To the best of my knowledge, that has never worked. Ever. ever. There's no chance that you ran the release notes and then you added the up for grab label? I don't. I I'm willing to go back and test this. So do you happen to remember what version of GitReleaseManager you were using at this time? Was this 090? So your suspicion is that this is something we've broken 010. Because even in the verbiage, so let's go back. Where's the failed one? Oh, did I lose it? Oh, looks like I lost it. Okay, thank you. I mean, I'm sort of gung ho now. I'm prepared to. I'm prepared to ship it, and if we need to do a 010.1, I'm happy to do that. But I'm kind of adamant that that's all it's ever meant to be. But let me. What's the word I'm looking for in here? Is it invalid? Well, Matthias is not incorrect, but bad issue. Expected to find a single label with either that or, and then the list of strings. So its wording of the error is reasonably implicit as well. Even if it expects to find a single label with one of the labels to include. But I'm going to do some tests on this. But I sort of want to ship it because I want to see if the shipping process has been made to work. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to tag this. I'm going to go to this release, and I'm going to ship it. I'm going to click on this draft, and I'm going to say publish it. And there's lots of Slack notifications just coming into my ears. And if we go up here and we look at history, then we're now doing a... Oh, we're not doing... Why is that not kicked off a build? Oh, there it goes. Whew. Dun, dun, dun. It's building. Build. So I'm sort of expecting this build to fail, if I'm honest. I sort of expect it to fail. But we'll find out. Oh, that's, yeah, I guess we should check that too. If we go over here, then it should have been pushing things to here too. Oh, we've got a 0.10, and that's part of why it might fail. Because the build on master has pushed the 0.10.0 build to the pre-release. It used 0.7.1. Hold on there. 0.7.1. The GRM allowed multiple labels on issue. Thank you for looking that up, Kim. So the build on master pushed to the pre-release NuGet sources, which includes GitHub package repository. We're currently running a tagged build, which may well attempt to push to GitHub package repository again, and that may cause an error. As long as not multiple issue labels was not specified in YAML. Don't forget that part. So what you're saying is, as long as the additional label on the issue is not included in the YAML file, then you are saying that it was allowed. Yep. So as long as... Right, okay, that's fine. And so when... I thought... I have a recollection of fixing this at some point in cake.recipe. What I don't know is whether I dreamed it or whether I actually did it. I certainly meant to do it. So basically the fix was that on a tagged build we only ever push to the released sources rather than what's defined in the pre-release. So we may well find out if this is going to work or not. So fingers crossed, toes crossed, arms crossed, legs crossed, all of the crosses. Let's see what happens. The other thing I did over the weekend was I set up a Twitter app. So if this works, it should send a wee tweet out to Twitters from the Git Tools account to say that there's a new version of GitReleaseManager. So we'll see if that part works too. Oh, Maurice, you've jinxed it now. You've jinxed it. Oh, here we go. So it's uploading artifacts. It's publishing the GitHub release. You see it's broken. I don't think it's going to work. It shouldn't be doing that part. It's going to fail. It's going to fail. Boom! I thought I'd done that. I thought I'd fixed that. I meant to fix it. Publish release packages. See, it's only meant to do that part on the tagged release. I thought I'd fixed it. I mean, it's still going to pass. It's just not going to do the final step, which is to send the notification to Gitter and to Twitter, which is really kind of what I was hoping to test in this release. But if we walk over here and we do a refresh, now we've got the 0.10.0. It's validating it. If we refresh this, then it's got a 0.10.0. And if we walk over here and do a refresh, then it should be added into the validation queue. There we go. Pending automated validation. So then it's doing a final push of the documentation changes. So you're saying that in both 0.7.0 and 080 GitReleaseManager allowed multiple labels on the issue. Okay. Might have to do a 010.1 if this is the case. Kind of annoyed that build failed. But let's see if it hasn't done all of the... I haven't got all the updates I expected it to get either. Let's have a look here. I didn't get an update here either. So why has it not... Did it close the milestone? Where's my milestone? Didn't close my milestone. Why is it not close my milestone? I've done the wrong. Control F. Control F. Close. There's lots of them. Yep, I agree, it's open. It's wide open. Should be closed. We're back to the beginning. Am I misremembering when cake recipe does that? Cake contrib cake.recipe. Cake.recipe. Content. GitReleaseManager. Control F. Close. So did it update the release then? Hold on, let's see what it did do. Hasn't added the assets either. I'm so confused right now. But it did do the publish GitHub release, didn't it? Publish GitHub. Didn't do it again. Ah, you know what? I think I've made the same mistake. The mistake that I fixed locally is the... This is most annoying. The environment variables, yes, Kim. I should have added Git tools onto the start of each. I'll go over here. I'm on my other screen, so you won't be able to see this part. Make a scene again. I'm going to have to rename these environment variables here to be tools underscore get tools underscore. If I save that, then it should work. So there's a couple of things we could do here. We could... Where do we go to next? We could do a 0.10.1, and that 0.10.1 will encompass the fixing of the build, and we'll also investigate just now whether or not that whether or not we have broken something with regard to the duplicate, with the invalid issues. We could run it again, yes. At that point, each of the publishings will fail, with the exception of Chocolatey. The package will get pushed to Chocolatey again. The other ones will fail. And at that point, we will see the assets getting added, and also the... Okay, so let's run it again. Did I? Focus. Have I gone? I have gone a little blurry. I don't know why. Weird. I don't know what's going on there. I have indeed gone a little bit blurry, but I'm not sure why. This just changes. Maybe that'll help. Focus. Is that better? It's tough getting old. You're a cheeky mongrel, you are. Cheeky mongrel. So let's rebuild it. Sod it. Let's do it again. And let's see what this does. So, but then while that's building, I want to go over here. I want to have a look through the commits. I was sure that I'd done something in this area with regard to these are all merge requests. You did not make it. I didn't think I would, Maurice. Oh, you know what? I think I did fix it. I did fix it. I didn't dream it. I fixed it in my private copy of cake.recipe that I use somewhere. I bet you. And I haven't brought it over yet into the release version of cake.recipe proper. Let me have a quick look and see if I'm telling the truth. Over here while that's building. Why is that taking so long to load up? You guys still hear me okay? Is my internet connection gone? No, it's still there. It's just this website being really, really slow, I think. Thank you, Kim. Yep, got a 503 back from this website. And connects. I'm just looking through some code here while that code's running. That's not coming up with anything obvious either. Here, content, packages. So I've added it. Okay, so I think I found where it's meant to be. If we go to here, and we look in here, and we look in here, and we look in this file, that build failed again. Let me finish this thought process and we'll go and have a look. Publish pre-release packages and publish release. Oh, I got it wrong the wrong way. So it's only running this when it's tagged, and we should probably run this only when it's not tagged. I think is maybe how we need to fix it. So sorry. Build failed for something completely different. Publish GitHub release. The handle is invalid. Oh no, hold on. Deleting. So publish GitHub release, what's that actually trying to do though? Let's go here and look at GitReleaseManager. And we look at publish GitHub release. Is that? No, it can't be that. Because we weren't getting in there before, were we? So now it's trying it. Publish GitHub release. Git manager. Git release manager. Add asset. Git tools bot. Owner. Git release manager. Tagged with 10. Asset. Packages. Portable nutcag. I can take no responsibility for that, Maurice. That redacted is coming directly from Cake. The handle is invalid. Portable nutcag. It's all there. The handle is invalid. I mean, I guess we could try running it locally and seeing whether that add asset runs. So the one it's trying, let's try and make it as close as possible. So let's download this guy, and this guy. Back to here, down to here. And if we go into C, GitHub, organizations, Git tools, GitReleaseManager, build artifacts. Where's it trying to get it from? Build artifacts, temp, published applications, CLI. Oh, that's where it's pulling it from. That's where it's running it from. So, temp. Oh, we don't have it yet. That's why it's confusing me. Build artifacts, new. Doesn't matter exactly, but let's new folder chocolate. New folder nougat. Let's have a show in folder, and let's pick this one up and put it into there, and then these two are going to go into here. And then if we take basically this command, which should be up to including this guy, and we will tinker with it a little bit, and we will say there. Let's just stick a thing in front. Do I get a partial woohoo? I'm assuming that means that Manfred has cleared the moderation queue. Let's have a little looky. Normal view, moderator. This could be an issue with the cache again, but I'm still seeing 5 submitted, not 2. But even that, indeed, woohoo! Thank you very much, Manfred. Add asset, git tools bot. Well, this might not be a true test, but let's do it anyway. That's not going to work. And git tools, GitHub username, env git tools, GitHub password, redacted, blah blah blah, and let's what does that do? Broke something. Oh, seriously. Did I copy and paste something incorrect? Let's try that again. Oh, why did that fail? Why did that not work the way I wanted it to? Is that not completed? What have I missed here? Why is this not working the way I wanted it to? Where am I? I'm not sure what you're saying. Oh, I see. GitReleaseManager in the queue. Yes. Why is this not completing for me? I don't know. 10. Where's 10 gone? Oh, hold on. That's why. Because that must have been build artifacts, not. Okay, hold on. Build artifacts. Is that going to work? I'm so confused. Build artifacts, temp. Have I actually built it? Okay. We'll get there eventually. Add asset. Dash U. Env. Git tools. GitHub username. Dash P. Dash P. Env. Git tools. GitHub password. Owner. Git tools. Repository. Git release manager. What was the command we're trying to run? I've completely forgotten. Dash O. Dash T 010 0. Dash A is build artifacts. Packages. Chocolatey. What? Mother? So that can only mean that the username and password that I'm attempting to use is invalid. So let's try it one more time with the actual username and password that is currently on there. I'm going to go off stream. I'm going to put some environment variables in play, and then I'm going to come back. Give me a sec. Okay, I'm back. And I'm going to try this again. GitHub. Username. Pro tip. I can press up, up, up. I can repeat the command, pressing Control and search for GitReleaseManager and Control and leave. I could just press, I pressed up 3 times and it got to the same point. But that command is not going to work just now because it's currently got an asset called that one. So let's circumvent that one a little bit by taking that out and removing that asset and updating the release. And what happens when I try that? That makes no sense. ci.appfair.com. Makes no sense in my head. But it's not even getting to the point of, we're not seeing the same output. It's not even getting to uploading assets. So why does that fail? That can only be can it be that no, because it's, I was going to say it can't find the executable, but the executable is returning the fatal, so it's running the exe. Could it be something silly like it's not got one of the dependencies? So if we were to come in here and look at this, and we look at this, it's GitReleaseManager that's returning that fatal, yeah. So what I'm wondering is if something silly like, let's, as an example, let's just delete a bunch of stuff from here. I wouldn't expect the error that we're getting from the handle is invalid. So let's delete you again. Delete the SHA. So we know the SHA, the addition of the SHA is working when you add an asset. So that part at least is working, but it's not working from within App Harbor. Appfair. See, that's the error that I would expect. The handle is invalid. No, Maurice, it's fine. It's gone. To the best, it's gone. So it's already published in NuGet. It's that version is gone. So if we need to push out a new version, then it would be a 0.10.1. So thank you for the offer, but no, just let it roll through. Handle system.io exception, and it's being thrown from. Hold on. It's hold on. Oh. You know what I think it is, Kim? You know what I think it is? I've just read the stack trace. It's trying to get the console width. And the console width is not available. I just came to the same conclusion that you did. So that create figlet is breaking on AppBear. So let's have a wee look. Create figlet. So something in here at the point in time of console.window_width, that there is not available for some reason. So how to fix that? Not sure I follow what you're saying there, Maurice. Nope, that wasn't Maurice, sorry. So, to answer some questions in general, Maurice, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Manfred, OS version, we are running, I will tell you exactly. We are running the Visual Studio 2019 VM instance, which is likely Windows Server 2016, if not 2019. I'm wondering whether what Kim is saying is more likely to be the problem, namely that it's running under a different context, so the actual width of the thing isn't available. So what would we need to do to sanity check that? What would we need to check to see if this causes an exception? And if it does, assume that it's short rather than long? That seems like a little bit of a they list out their build images software. So we're on this one. I don't know what you're looking for specifically, Manfred, but it's all here. I mean, it's operating system. Windows Server 2019 is what it is. PowerShell remote exception consistency when run via remote run space. Oh, Snoopy. It'll tell us PowerShell. It is PowerShell Core. They've upgraded it on the 2S VS. The VS 2019 image has PowerShell Core on it. I'm not sure what to do for the best here. I mean, I know what I'm tempted to do, but it feels kind of ugly. There's an incoming suggestion from Manfred. I'm sorry, I'm being distracted by a few things. But if window width isn't available on, let's say, AppVeyor, is it likely that it's not available on other CI platforms as well? And if that's the case, I'm clearly not following what you guys are thinking about, because I don't see what Vagrant has got to do with this, but I'm maybe just getting sleepy. Manfred saying, in my opinion, it's best to assume CI systems use PS remote sessions. Okay. In which case you're saying that console.window-width is not available within that session. So, I mean, my thinking here is literally, it's not pretty, but I'm literally thinking, do this, and then catch exception. I don't even care about the exception, but we'll put it in anyway. EX log.information, and bear on the side of caution and just say short format, and then version. Is kind of what I was getting at, but that feels a little bit icky. What are your thoughts, Kim? You wrote this originally. I'm curious as to what your thoughts on this are. But what we should probably have in here is log.verbose unable to establish width of console reverting to short format. Still don't need the exception. It's fugly, but you'll probably get your figlet, and that's really that's the main driving force in my head right now, is to get the figlet. Only wrapping the console width in try-catch would be more appropriate. I believe we can fall back to buffer width, but not sure about that. So this is a bug anyway. So if nothing else, because it is coming to the close of my day, so I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to create a new issue of the type of bug. And I'm going to go over here, and we're going to grab this. Copy. And say expected behavior, actual behavior. 1, 2, 3. Paste. 1, 2, 3. Does that work? Unable to run GRM on at their suspect other CI platforms to also suffer from same problem. Attempting to do so results in a the handle is invalid exception. Expected behavior GRM runs correctly, I guess. Actual behavior. Possible fix. Use try catch to handle. What was it called? Console.width. Console.window width, which is throwing the exception. Steps to reproduce. Let's grab a link to this way. Steps to reproduce. Run this build. Context. How has this bug affected you? Unable to fully publish GitReleaseManager release. Your environment. I don't really care for that. Exception thrown when running GRM on AppFair. I'm going to take the investigating off. We're going to assign it to the 010.1 and we're going to submit the new issue. Oh, hold on, sorry. Did you mean that you were creating the issue, Kim? Sorry, I just saw your note just now. Or are you referring to something else? Oh, sorry. I apologize. I didn't see your comment there. Okay, so that's the bug we need to fix. So it looks like we are going to do. I'm going to attempt to do a sanity check of the other issue that Kim mentioned with regard to multiple labels being allowed on an issue in previous versions of GitReleaseManager. And to see when that might have come in to play. Because yeah. I've never seen an issue being created with multiple labels, but I'm going to run some tests on that. I'm feeling a little bit deflated. I honestly thought that this was going to work. Never mind. Sorry, Manfred, what are you saying? I did speak to Paul. He doesn't want to do it. I asked him if he wanted to come on the stream and spend some time going through some pull requests, and I mean, I'll let him go into more details, but the upshot was that he doesn't want to do it. That's not to say that we can't do it, but if you want Paul's involvement, then that's a no. If nothing else, what we can do on a stream at some point is to do the release of Boxstarter. I mean, we could walk through that Boxstarter release and kind of show it all being shipped. But in terms of getting Paul's input on the open pull requests for Boxstarter, then no, it's not going to happen. I've just seen a cheer from Manfred. Thank you very much for the cheer. 2,000, eh? Look at you. Thank you very much. Look at that. I appreciate it. I do. I'm assuming that that's not the answer that you wanted regarding Paul, but that's where we are. But yeah, I'm feeling a little bit deflated. I'm gonna go to bed and cry. I genuinely thought this was gonna work, but hey ho. So the next stream might be fixing this on Friday lunchtime. I was hoping to move on to some other stuff. Kim saying he's working on a fix, that'd be great. But I would, if nothing else, I think what we should do though, so let me write this down as well. We need to fix cake.recipe so that it doesn't publish the publishing you get packages at the wrong time. At wrong time. So I may well do a quick commit into cake.recipe, pull that version into GitReleaseManager so that on the next release we don't get that conflict between it pushing to the pre-release and it going out to the production. If we can fix that, that would be good. Friday stream review PR maybe, but since it will be a bug fix, I'm targeting Master Ranch. If you really wanted to, you could create a hotfix branch and PR into that. But it's totally up to you. Because technically, I guess I would prefer that. Because it needs to go both ways. In which case, while I think about it, actually, git switch to develop, git merge, OFF, release branch, git push upstream. Or I can absolutely, yeah. If you're doing the work of fixing it, I will certainly do the work of doing the necessary to pull it into the right place. We can certainly do that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go and sign off now, and I guess I'll talk to you on Friday. So thank you all for spending the evening. It's fun as always, and we'll get there. We'll get this release shipped and working. So enjoy the rest of what's left of your evening, and we shall talk to you all on the Tinternets. Bye-bye. You too, Thomas. Absolutely.